Welcome back, brothers and sisters. So let's just get into the recap of 19th November games. First, Capitals versus Oilers. All around bad game from the Oilers. Don't even know where to start. Like below average in defensive zone coverage, and same goes for their zone exits. You can overcome Bouchard's bad play in his own end if you have, say, Dostal or Logan Thompson between the pipes. But Oilers don't even have that much of a leeway with Stuart Skinner in the net, who posted 73 7 save percentage. I don't know, like this is even from AHL standards or even in juniors, like this is one of the worst save percentage you will ever see. The Oilers are near bottom of the NHL for goals against. They have allowed 17 goals in last 3 games, and even two McDavids on the same team can't help teams score 5 goals every game. How in the world did McDavid look at this roster in the off-season and thought that him leaving money on the table is gonna win him a cup in Edmonton? I don't know. Not to rub salt on the wound, but Flames have more regulation wins than Oilers this season. On the Capitals side, while Logan Thompson was far from his usual self, he was still miles better than the goalie on Oilers, and that was enough to get Caps past the Edmonton and on a 2-game winning streak. Connor McMichael, who has had a slow start to the season, continued his point streak to 3 games by assisting on 3 goals, which took his tally to 6 points in last 3 games. However, the real star of the game was rookie Ryan Leonard, who scored 2 goals in the game, his first multi-goal game in the NHL career. The most surprising player for me on this team is veteran defenseman and a long-time staple in Washington, John Carlson, who had 3 helpers in the game and at 35 is defying father time by playing at almost a point per game this season. I also want to talk about this 23-year-old center Justin Sourdif, who Florida traded to Caps in the off-season, and he logged more than 50 minutes this game, and it was a heavy time as he played a shutdown role against McDavid and Draisaitl in this game. On to the second game, Sabres versus Flames. Come on, the Gavin McKenna Bowl, okay? Gavin McKenna Bowl is on. Flames came out victorious, increasing Sabres' chance to land McKenna in Buffalo. But unlike everyone's prediction, where they saw this game to be close, Sabres completely shit their bed and got blown out 6-2 in their own building. Dahlin, Samuelsson, and Melenstein were the only 3 players on Sabres with plus rating. The only good thing about Sabres in this game was their jersey. As to the Flames, thank God at last Devin Cooley got the first win in Flames uniform. Guy has 935 save percentage in 6 games, which includes 4 starts. See Oilers, this is how a real goalie looks like. Rasmus Andersson, who had 3 points tonight, has 6 points in the last 3 games, and for teams who want his services, he is not going to cost cheap come trade deadline. Now on to the third game. Wild versus Hurricanes. For those unknown to it, there is a giant wall in Minneapolis, also known as Jesper Wallstedt, who on his off days just lines up between the pipes for a while and does not have a single regulation loss this season in 5 games. He had 933 save percentage on 45 shots. This rookie literally won the game Minnesota. Otherwise, Hurricanes were all over them. While Minnesota won the game, they were lethargic in third period, where it was more or so domination by Hurricanes. Boldy extended his point streak to 5 games. I think we are seeing another star in the making in Minnesota, in Danila Euro, who centered the first line of Caprizzo and Zuccarello in the back of Ryan Hartman and Marco Rose's injuries. Euro logged season-high 13 minutes in last game against Golden Knights, where he also had 4 minutes on the top line, and that was for the first time. Just in his second ever chance centering the top line, he produces 2 assists. His first multi-point game in his NHL career. Wild, who were reeling some time ago, has 5-0-1 record in last 6 games and sit in the 5th position in Central, and this is not looking good for Utah Mammoth. On the Hurricanes side, Jackson Black, who sits 3rd on the Hurricanes point chart this season with a 5.1 million AAV for next 8 years, it is looking like one of the best contracts out there, and he is only going to get better. His 2 goals propelled Canes to an overtime and got them at least 1 point after they fell behind 2-0 and 3-1 in the game. Anderson should not be a starter anymore in Carolina. That's my personal belief, as both Bussi and especially Kochetkov have outplayed him this season. Now, on to the last game of the day. My goodness. This game was an absolute heartbreaker for me as a Bruins fan, as they were literally the better team for almost 45 minutes of the game and dominated on the dot and even in the hits. Bruins even outshot the Ducks, had more blocked shots and 6 less giveaways than Anaheim, but still couldn't fetch a single point in Southern California. Corpuscello made some big saves after letting in two early goals, but the defensive lapses on the back end, especially in the third period, were their downfall. Lohrai once again looked rough in his own end. On the positive note, however, Sedorov and Lindholm both looked good, and the Bruins' power play was humming as they scored two goals on two man advantage opportunities. That means 100% of their power play was successful. Morgan Geekie also put two past the net and is tied alongside Nathan McKinnon and Leon Draisaitl for the NHL lead in goals with 14. Like Geekie was the only one who had success against Dostal. That 5.5 AAV million contract for Geekie is looking like a highway robbery by Sweeney right now. As for the Ducks, the sole reason Boston left Honda Center without a point after being better team was Lucas freaking Dostal. Even his 9-3 save percentage on 39 shots doesn't do him justice to how stood he tall between the pipes. He was erasing A-grade chances for my Bruins whole night long. Leo Carlson got on the score sheet after not putting up a single point in the last three games. Carlson did a tremendous work on the zone entry and along the boards for Duck's fourth goal, which ultimately became the game winner. McTavish looked dangerous whole night along with Beckett Seneca. While people talk about Blackhawks and Sharks as the team to beat in near future, I would say Ducks are far more scarier than both of them because unlike those teams, this team is very heavy and tall. Anaheim is 7-1 at Honda Center this season and 8-0 when they score first. What a job Joel Quenneville has done thus far with this young team. So that's it from today. Thank you. Bye bye, my brothers and sisters.